Real quick, I found an article written on Bloomberg, but referencing LinkedIn data, basically profile changes of individuals on LinkedIn, highlighting the 10 cities that people are leaving and the 10 cities that people are moving to. This caught my attention because I was remembering back when I started this one rental at a time journey. Like many of you, I had to pick my market. The market I lived in didn't make sense. It was an appreciation market. It was not a cash flow market. And frankly, I did not want to play the appreciation game. I think the appreciation game is what burned me in stocks, and I was not going to repeat that again in real estate. So I had to find a market. Now, as we talk about in this book, I was lucky enough to find a market 2.5 hours away in Fresno, California. I then went about learning it, finding out what average is, and doing all of that. That is a valuable skill I learned, and I've now documented for everyone else to follow in my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. The reason I'm talking about this is because if you can't invest in your location, but you want to learn a market, I can help. And I'm thinking that some of these top 10 markets might be interesting for some of you, and you probably don't live there. So let's talk about them. Let's also talk about the cities that people are leaving. I will, in fact, start with that list. Because I think, at least for me, I understood a couple of these, but a few of these 10 that people are leaving surprised me. So I thought we'd go through them, thought we'd talk about them, and then we'll go into the list of where people are going. The reason people are leaving really varies. Obviously, there's the big ones, San Francisco, New York, taxes, quality of life, vertical living. But there's others in the Midwest that a lot of you keep telling me is cheap and you're buying in. I got to tell you, if people are truly leaving these locations, you might want to double check and think about whether or not you want to invest here. So some of this list surprised me. We'll just go 10 to 1. So number 10 was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Next was Cincinnati, Ohio. Detroit, Michigan. So 10, 9, 8. Boston, Massachusetts. Probably would have guessed that one. Let's be clear. I would not have guessed Detroit, Cincy, or Pittsburgh. I get a lot of followers on this channel that are buying in one of those three cities. But now if we hear they're one of the top 10 places people are fleeing or leaving, that's gotta at least make you double check. Norfolk, Virginia, Cleveland, Ohio. I bet you I hear weekly from folks watching this that they're buying in Cleveland. Did you know that Cleveland is one of the cities people are leaving? Now again, this is LinkedIn. Maybe LinkedIn is biased to white collar jobs. Maybe. If they're biased to white collar jobs, they're probably also biased to higher income. Maybe. Maybe it's okay, but man, the number of times I hear people investing in Cleveland, that would make me nervous. After Cleveland, it kind of makes sense. Chicago totally makes sense. San Francisco obviously makes sense. New York City obviously makes sense. And then Hartford, Connecticut was number 1. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why it would be over New York and San Francisco, but again, Hartford, Connecticut. So again, that's the top 10 lists of people are leaving. I would say 1, 2, 4 of those, shocked me. Because again, I hear from people trying to learn their market. They're asking me in the Facebook group, One Rental at a Time Works, what do you think? What do you think? Well, my answers are going to be different now, right? As I tell anyone, I don't pick markets. That's not my job. I know one market. I only learn one market. I can teach you to learn any market. But now there's certainly question marks about 4 of those cities. But let's go to the other side. Let's go to where you can make some money, right? There are 10 cities, again, according to LinkedIn, profile changes where people are moving to. We will go in reverse order again, 10 to 1. First up, Charleston, South Carolina. Makes sense. Las Vegas, Nevada. Totally makes sense. By the way, we're talking to Brian Lebo, big broker from Las Vegas, here in a couple hours to talk about what's going on there. So that should be fun. Denver, Colorado. Makes total sense. Dallas, Texas. Hello. zero taxes, zero state taxes. Charlotte, North Carolina, again, makes total sense. Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, Florida, total sense. Nashville, Tennessee, again, zero tax. Phoenix, Arizona, coming in at number 2. Man, people from SoCal moving to Phoenix big time. I'm going to try to talk with Steve Trang, again, a big broker in Scottsdale, see what's going on there. I reached out to him this morning. And then number one, Austin, Texas. I probably would have guessed that one. All the tech companies going there. Austin is the place to be. I've heard for some brokers there that real estate's just going crazy. So again, if you're a cash flow investor, you want to invest in a market, you might want to look at one that's growing. You do have to learn your market. Inventory is so tight, right? Inventory is so tight. So make sure you learn your market. Make sure you do good or great deals. If you need to learn how to learn a market, the link below is to my course. If you hear any whining, that's my puppy over there whining because he's now awake. Just want to give you this top 10 list. People are leaving. People are moving too. Have a wonderful day. We got a couple of multimillionaires we're interviewing today. I look forward to those. Take care.